Let's oh, another nuke inbound. All right, let's see it. Let's see it. What do they see at the moment? Where are they nuking? Yeah, let's see if actually let's take a look from the other side. Okay, that probably good. Both sides nuking. What the hell? Okay, let's see it. Let's see it. Double nuke. Well, if you wanted me to be honest with you, the replay or the match that we are casting today is played by two high skill teams. But if you ask me if the plays themselves were high skill, you should judge for yourself. What up, weebs? It's Corrin here. Well, we're doing our first cast of the channel on Broken Arrow. It's going to be between two pretty popular or two pretty decent teams from the Chinese community, as this is also their tournament. It's a first day, first match, best of one, so we'll see who wins and advances. Spawning on the left-hand side or the alpha side of the map, we have a team that is pretty high in elo. And they have actually managed to beat Ben, me included, a couple of times. They managed to do it surprisingly well. Their team consists of a streamer, the Mr. LJDam 2000, Alien Metal Zero. I mean, all of these people are, you can find them on the top 100 leaderboard, whereas you can't find me, really. As for the other hand side, we have also a pretty well-known team, but I don't really know. Most of them, I know them after their team. They are known as the kind of like the Lizards, at least that's how I remember them. And this is a US versus US match where both teams, I mean, in my opinion, I do think that US does have the upper hand in most engagements here. So we can quickly take a look at the initial deployment of both sides, as the Bravo team, the Lizards team, is trying to deploy with the really aggressive Osprey here. They do manage to get it off here, but still very conservative for H. So in reality, it's actually going to be the Alpha team that gets straight into H beforehand, and meanwhile, in the air, the Alpha team manages to, I think they get 2 Raptors taken out. So not really that ideal, although they're getting back at their Raptor that is also overextending, maybe fired a bit too many missiles. So overall, the team that, well, their team's name is 3K or ELO something something. I think it's called like 3K ELO something something cheerleader squad or something like that. But anyways, yeah, so they do manage to get win the air attack score by about 100 points or so. So if you ask me why exactly, I'm not really using like you know, spotting all the units from both teams. It's mainly because I want to figure out what exactly, like, I don't want to, you know, just suddenly get map hacks and just see everything on the map, you see. But overall, I do think both teams know what they are doing, and that is exactly why I'm trying to talk, or like why I want to feature this replay. So I think we'll start with talking about the, like, I mean, on paper the higher elo team, but in reality they're actually playing the weak side of this map, which is I think it's called okay, I actually forgot the name of it. It's one of the airport maps, and the reason for that is because on both the contest caps of A and H, A side for Alpha, that is my side that I'm currently on, you actually don't have a lot of ways to enter A besides this gigantic or not very big choke point, and people can often lock you down with by these 2 roads with putting ATGMs in them. And let's see if their opponents do manage to do that. Not yet, but they're going to set up an FF trophy later. That being said, it's not like the A side doesn't have their own advantage. For example, the buildings here are really close to their side of the map, and they can easily get in and out of the cap and support the sniper, whereas for their team, their closest sniper is still relatively mirrored, also here as well. And then for H side, it's also a bit more, I think, I wouldn't say it's completely biased, but still a bit more in favor of the Bravo side, because they have a couple buildings here, but if they can't take it, which is in this case, they actually can't really make good use of that advantage. Sorry for the lags, I just updated my graphics driver, and it does seem like something is off at the moment. So meanwhile, I think they're, oh, okay, well, starting to see some action here, actually playing Marine SOF in the A cap. So this is probably one of the caps where it can actually work. In the meantime, also some engagements going on. It is currently a 1 versus 2 over here on the H side for the Lizards team, and then for the 3K ELO or 3K cheerleader groups, they are actually going on a fair 2v2 on the A side. As for the flank, both sides are probably just trying to play very, let's just say, defensively. Maybe probably just going to save up, buy a play around recon, and then eventually move into the A-cat, or like, and then support middle, which from what I'm seeing right now, I do notice that there is kind of an imbalance here. Okay, so here we come. This is the first thing that happens when you eventually, like, I think this is the Lizard's strategy, you know, or the Lizard team strategy. I don't know what to call them honestly in English because everything's in Chinese, but as you can see right here, they're perma-smoking everything with Striker MC. I think both teams as well, that Striker MGS trying to get a cheeky second shot but don't manage to do it. They're actually getting pushing out of this side with the help of the abundance of smoke. But to be fair, if you look at things, because both players here from the Lizards team are actually running like Striker Soft, Armored Soft, and when it comes to facing off against, let's say, Marines, like there's a Baltic SOF guy and a Baltic Marines guy, it's actually not that easy to break through from the first engagement. But with a bit of help from the IVs, which is something that the Baltic battalion does have, but it seems like neither of these players are actually have them equipped inside. So if your infantry are getting chewed apart by these units, for example, you see the Delta Force, they just lost their M113, they're actually getting pushed back. So the smoke spam here that is near C is pretty intense, and it is kind of, I mean, even though I did say that it's going to work out for the Marines, but I guess if you don't have as much AT to match, or like your own IVs to support your infantry, then eventually they will move out. Actually do get a pretty juicy snipe on the Warpig to prevent them from resupplying. Neither side actually pulling out with that very juicy airstrikes, probably because they do know that, I mean, both sides would have, or both sides would assume each other to have radar on, or like at least some Raptors over there lording in the back line. That being said, though, it's we do know that the cheerleading team actually does not have this, do not actually have these like ASF loitering in the back, so if they do manage to airstrike anyone, they can get away with it. So in the meantime, let's take a quick look. These are CQC RCs, so going to be very dangerous. This Guardian is very nasty. Let's see if they do spot them, but they don't engage at the moment, and we'll be able to see a bit more action here going on. It does seem, at least from what from what's going on here, that what the Lizards team is trying to do right now is trying to pressure, well, it's kind of their strategy, I guess. I don't think they're actually trying to take C. In reality, they want to eventually push into this bush and then start pressuring, like folding into A from a counterclockwise position. So they are kind of, it is kind of working until, yes, the Alpha team is eventually going to pull out their own tanks and their own, like once the smoke runs out, it's going to be a lot easier for each side to like punish each other's blobbing infantry and mistakes. That is a double canfit. Holy, you do not want to be there. They do spot the 4-con and Marine Raider combo. Sure, they're just going to run away from there. And I'm actually quite surprised because neither player on this team, at least on the Alpha side, over here on the left-hand side, do have MLRS. As for the right-hand side, we do have a Striker Soft player, so okay, finally some HIMARS. This is probably the only player with HIMARS on the Alpha team, and he's actually using it for himself. So something that I really do know, or like want to point out for this map, okay, some CJs going off, and a nuke already coming in. This is the first nuke of the match. Let's see how it goes. It does hit, okay, 3, 4 after 4 missiles, it still gets it up. Nuke goes off. Oh! I mean, how big of a nuke was that? Okay, at least 1.5k to say the least. I actually don't know that much. The Raptor tried its best. It is the 405 Raptor, so the best configuration you can ever get. But, I guess it didn't really work out for them trying to have ASF in there, and that is a bit of a shame, I must say. But first phase, already a nuke going off, and because the nuke only has about 20 minutes or so of a cooldown, yeah, they can just easily get away with like another nuke in the third phase. So I believe this was from, yeah, the LJDAM guy. I've played against this team on the alpha side, and they've actually, they've once played against me, or like when I played against them for 2 matches in a row, they had like triple nukes for each side, so you can kind of tell how easy it is, or let's not say easy, let's not describe it as easy, but more like how effective nukes are in the current meta. Like, you can just save up and then eventually just blast through. So I guess you actually don't need MLRS when everything can just die to a nuke, I suppose. And right now it seems like the Bravo team, which is, you know, Lizard, is getting pushed back a little bit, you know, taking a bit too many losses after that first. Oh, that is actually standoff Delta. Okay, move quick going off in the meantime in the middle. So it's going to be a clash of philosophies, you see, on both sides. On the Alpha side, you have the more, well, I guess, let's just say both the Nukes and the McClicks are very, very okay. Well, a very good thing that he sprinted away from that. But Nukes and McClicks are basically things that are pretty difficult to actually intercept or like dodge, and basically it just gives your opponent 0 time to actually react to this, to them at least. And as a result, let's see what this Raptor's going off at. Okay, the Fighting Falcon probably going for the trophy. Oh, barely nicks it, and the Raptor gets away. Okay, so it is going to be a very good trade for the Lizards team. Let's see if they can actually manage to... Okay, that's 1.6k a deficit in terms of KD at the moment, and also 2 caps down. Both A and H is being taken, or has been pushed out, and that's not going to be ideal. So currently, I do think that it does have a bit of deck building involved right now, you know, both sides. Oh, A, even J is being taken all of a sudden, although I'm pretty sure there isn't really a lot of things to like stop them from actually. Okay, well, I guess you can't really spot what's inside here. One of the McClicks, one of the MGS is already taking a bit too much damage, has to eventually bail out. The Dragoon trophy comes in. He's gonna, oh, even, oh, gets rid of the Culligan, the engine. So that's 2 crippled strikers sitting there doing nothing. And because the M113 is sitting here and resupplying, can't really tell how many supplies in here, but if the icon is green, then it means they're still healing. Then that definitely means that these guys are still capable of defending the cap, and they're gonna be able to hold J for now. Maybe even get it up to 3 caps at some point. Only 3 minutes left to do something about this, and it is going to be a little bit concerning, considering, okay, let's see it. Okay, sorry, so not much happening here. Both sides trying to resupply. I mean, I guess, for the 2k JDAM guy, he wants to reinforce J as much as possible after overcommitting it. That is a Strike Eagle. Oh, with the big bomb, oops, sorry, and then the Pax took care of it, so I guess it didn't really matter that much. Maybe it was in favor for them, but overall, it wasn't really gonna change too many things here. So, the panicked CV90 eventually gets taken out. Oh, these guys are gonna get just easily, like, that HE shell can actually just kill this XA-180 if he's not careful. Barely makes it out alive, so it's gonna be able to hold this position for a little while longer. But, okay, Osprey also coming in, so nothing really on the sides here. They actually managed to sneak an STT through, but there are other units in the back that would potentially spot it if it ever tries to come in. And as we see right now, okay, the Casps getting spotted by the MGS, I assume. Casps aren't really good infantry, they're just there, they exist. They're alright. And the real issue here is that, at least for the 2k JDAM guy, is that, I guess, I must commend the Lizard team for playing very well. You see, like, they are kind of, they noticed that, okay, well, guys, we can't take A in the first phase, and we also can't take, we're probably not nuking first phase anyways, so let's just try to save what we can, like, help with J for now and try to salvage the situation. Maybe pull it down to, like, +3 for their opponent's team, but it seems like J is going to be a bit more difficult to take. A bunch of mortars here spot in the back too, probably by the Comanche. And okay, some things are working out here. Let's see if there are any nukes coming around. Okay, probably not at this time of the day. And to me, okay, let's see. Alright, so this is probably a result of the what's it called? Wait, let's see. Yeah, either the Ko or the HIMARS, I think. But the HIMARS would normally like, you know, will give them some negative effects, so it's probably not gonna, well, at least, you know, the Pack 2 survived. So one of the things that I would like to point out, or eventually afterwards, wait, where's the NASM shooting at? Is that the heli or is that the plane? Is that for both sides? If you start to use MLRS to poke each other out from force, it's going to be extremely cancerous for you to play with. So yeah, okay, very good job coming from Don Quixote. He is currently poking away the supplies of the backline of the Lizards team. It's going to make them extremely frustrating to resupply. And if you cannot resupply, you're gonna end up in a world where okay, small, doesn't McClick have smokes? Nope, gets poked out from that. So that is going to be a pretty good 10-minute cooldown on that McClick. It's not gonna be as threatening. We still did have like a McClick fire off at them, but at least they do manage to stay alive. I'm hearing a lot of supplies being popped here, and it seems that, okay, even more mortar firing going off. I feel like if someone actually tries bombing this, it would actually be worth. But so far, 4-0 in the first phase for the team, the cheerleading, well, the Alpha team. You know, congrats to them. But I must say, both sides have these, like, I think Baltic Battalion is probably pretty, I mean, I guess it is popular, you know, especially in mirrors. Okay, another good snipe on the supply truck back there. Let's see, check out this Strike Eagle. Why? Oh, okay, even get the Sentinel, so that is worth it. The Strike Eagle, okay, eventually gets taken out by the Pack 3 MSE. Gonna call another one out from the back line. Actually surprised people would use Sentinels because of how often people... yeah, it's crazy, you know, like how often people actually loiter fighters in this, like, at this level, I'd say. So... the map currently, let's say, yeah, it's going to be a +4 potentially. Yeah, it's going to be pretty bad for them. But we'll see if the Bravo team's got any nukes in this game, you know. Currently, I think, okay, the FEP trophy going to push up and eventually clear it all. This is going to be a really good push from them, and he even keeps the Marine Raiders alive. I'm getting a bit scared, so I guess it's going to pull out from there as well. Okay, well, I guess that's not going to... he's not going to take advantage of it. He's not going to be alright with it. Do you smoke? Do you smoke the FEP trophy? Oh no, why? Did he not have smoke? Okay, well, but he loses the Marine Raiders though, so he actually turned an engagement that was actually in favor of him into something that was actually worse. Well, I guess you have to... I think this is the streamer guy, you know? Gotta give him props for actually defending his retreating infantry. And sometimes that's you know, it's about the... like how you play it, right? Like, even though you're in a bad spot, you cover your units, you help them get out of there, and right now, I think the Bravo team is currently stuck in a bit of a tough spot. They know that they're eventually going to be able to take control of J, but they actually need to spend time trying to take this back, and even so, they can't really... like, you know, there's some infantry, they can't really wipe them out, they don't know where they are. Okay, finally they take care of the infantry and J. So J is going to be back in their control, but they have to spend so much time doing this, and it's all... okay, well, the good news is that their units are spread out, right? Their units are spread out. If you nuke, it's only going to be one guy, but on the other hand, they just barely took back J, and he's sending back more infantry and just constantly putting pressure on the Bravo team, and as a result, it's gonna suck, you know. Like, if they cannot stack multiple people and try to take back A, their only option is to nuke it. And by nuke it, I mean both of the actual contest caps are, even though this is, you know, the side that favors them, it's going to be really tough for them to get back into the game afterwards. So there's going to be a bit more blobbing, a bit more smoking involved. The JDAM guy did actually lose one of his Panzermorses to probably the Panzerhaubitzers in the back. Well, I guess you have to lose them to... it's kind of funny, ironic how you lose it to the units with almost the same names. So a bit of action going on the side here. I think this guy's playing Striker. Ooh, Striker Airborne. That is actually one of the decks I actually do like. But against Strike or Soft, though, I would say they would always be at a disadvantage unless he can make good use of probably the Brutus and the Sex Eagle. But oh, another nuke inbound. All right, let's see it. Let's see it. What do they see at the moment? Where are they nuking? Yeah, let's see if actually let's take a look from the other side. Okay, they're probably good. Both sides nuking. What the hell? Okay, let's see it. Let's see it. Double nuke. Double nuke, hit the buttons, slam all the CJs, all the Prowlers. I'm pretty sure they do spot the B2 right now from their side. They finally spotted now as well. B2 Spirit from the Alpha team is actually, okay, nuke goes off on H, wipes out absolutely everything. And the same goes for, oh, okay, they nuke A cap instead. So by neither caps and neither sides actually have their nukes available. CJ gonna waste its harm missiles and take out the B2 as well. So both sides trade nukes. That is pretty nice. Or pretty fantastic. Like, oh, could you imagine both sides just pressing the nuke button? So that means that I'm pretty sure that was a different color, right? The first nuke was from the JDAM guy. Second nuke was from Don Quixote. And, well, that probably means there are going to be more nukes. And they've barely the Bravo team has barely managed to just squeeze out their first nuke. So this is going to be problematic, you see. Like, they just used their nuke, and then they haven't... Okay, maybe let me break this down again. But yeah, so the problem here with the Bravo team's nuke was that the front line still exists here, right? There's Marines, there's small, there's a bunch of units here. It's a second truckload too, and actually it's going to be pretty difficult for him to push back because I mean, he has to deal with these units first, and then because even though wait, a second nuke? Okay, let's see it. It's gonna nuke A-cap. Finally the pack spotted, but it is a bit too late. Almost two-tapped the plane. But, oh, this is not going to be that worth it, I suppose. And then the Viper coming in, probably trying to bomb the front line here. Oh, it does get out. Wait, where are the bombs? Where are the bombs? Okay, Sexy will going off at the Raptor, but will he lose the Eagle in return? Takes off. Okay, the packs are actually out of ammo. Oh, never mind, he does resupply. And, is that a Raptor? Okay, resupply. No, it's here. It's still here. Cool, okay, wow, okay, well, how many nukes were thrown this phase? 3? And total 4? Okay, well, it's... How many more nukes are gonna be? Oh my god, both sides just spamming nukes against each other. It's absolutely cancer. I mean, this is top level Broken Arrow gameplay you see right here. In the meanwhile, JCap is actually being pushed back, by the Alpha team, so it's actually working out surprisingly well. Both sides trying to nuke each other. A is completely ditched because they know that A is just not going to be taken. I think these two spot each other. Okay, they shook hands, and then the sniper from Zero just ducks back in behind that tree line. Probably know of each other's existence, but they can't deal with each other just yet. But because of the lizards, oh wait, he doesn't have the Comanche with resupplying. Where's the Comanche? Where'd the Comanche go? Did he just get shot down by something? But this is gonna be a big problem right here. The Osprey. Oh, okay, very problematic for them. And the fact that a CB90 managed to get all the way to the back line, but the rockets are gonna come in clutch against the CB90, so that is gonna be finally something that Team Bravo can take care of. The sniper war is going to be good news for the results of the sniper wars, you know, going to be good news for the Bravo team at least, you know, a rare W every now and then, that would be nice. But I must say, oh, still laggy a bit today. Just updated something wrong with my graphics card. But anyways, it's going to be okay. Let's see it. Let's see if the damage reduction of smaller squads is actually going to come in clutch or not. But it seems like the Delta Force is just going to wipe out everything in here. Because, you know, they do have more dudes. I think the Raiders... No, Ranger. Wait, there's a Ranger team here. Let me check if it's, like... Bro, he's lobbing so hard I can't... Okay, there we go. Ranger, okay, it is CPC. Nice. So... Yeah, I guess it ended up being a bit too much for the Bravo team, but for now... this is a big problem though. They're probably going to spend the rest of the matches trying to take these two caps back, when in reality these two are what wins you the game. So it might not even be a competition at this point, as both as Both teams. Oh, okay, that is one damaged HC, but it's alright, I guess. See if you can actually manage to. Nope, it's not gonna work out for them at all. Why are these guys resupplying though? I mean, I guess he needs supplies, but sometimes, when you look at a match and you go and you think to yourself, okay, how can I break the balance of this match? How can I get back into the game? They've already exhausted most of their options here, you know? They threw 2 nukes this phase, and 1 nuke did something. I mean, I don't really think it did anything, but I'll be honest. Okay, well, yeah, at least he retreated the sniper, but still, it's gonna lose vision there. The problem is the H-cap nuke, it was okay, I guess. It was probably point worthy, but the front line was still static. As you see, they even were so confident they moved the pack 2 all the way up here, and they're still stuck in this tiny corridor, which anything they throw here, like this VEP trophy, is just not operable. It's how even track, dude. Did they take it out? Oh hell nah. Just close your eyes. Don't even bother anymore. That is nasty as hell. From Don Quixote, this is the only MLRs player, so these 2 units just locking down this entire corridor. I mean, I'm pretty sure these, I mean, they also have it in return, right, from the Lizard team, but because you have so much more to lose than they do. So all you gotta do is zone them out and you start ordering these pieces, which they kind of just did. I think, personally, I think the tank, like the tank kill in itself was kind of lucky, but yeah, this is quite tough to watch. Okay, in the meantime, this side, using MGSs are actually pretty good in my opinion, but if you ever have to get into force and fight your opponents, then eventually you'll need infantry. Anyways, okay, these are war pigs with the TOW BBs, which is the HE warhead. Actually surprisingly good nowadays because they are rather cheap. And, oh, did they take that guy? I don't, okay, he has APS still. So, CJ, okay. They called that a CJ afterburner on. Let's see if there's anything. Nothing actually being called in, so this is probably an act of desperation, trying to desync their opponents. Let's see if they spot it. Turn off all the packs. Okay, very good reaction time, okay. No ASF here to get back at him. I mean, to punish the CJ, because most CJs in US, or like in most matches, are actually just a 4 seed, you know, and it's alright, it makes sense. But if you happen, like, if you saw, like, if there were a couple of missiles from any ASF nearby that could just shoot at it, then they would probably most definitely be able to take it down. And okay. Well, it seems like they don't even need to nuke in the 3rd phase, but they can definitely rub salts into the wound. The Alpha team, that is, because it seems like they've completely or almost given up on JCap. They're just trying to, or like both players from the Alpha team are actually pushing right into B-cap. Okay, I don't play this cap often. And, well, A-cap, it's been lost since phase 1. So, if you ask me okay, let's just say that although the nuke was pretty impactful, they probably would have won anyways, you know, Alpha team, based on how it ended up. Okay, let's assume neither of all 4 nukes happened, you know. I think J probably, okay, well, if everyone focused playing ground, maybe, then it probably would have been a different story, based on how often you would need to actually, like, let's just say, because you run a nuke, right? I think 3 players on this team have nukes. So, like, this guy, not that guy, this guy probably. Yeah, they have 3 players with nukes, I would assume. At least 2, because we just saw 2 of them. And then this team, I mean the Bravo team, they have, okay, none SOF, no SOF, 1, at most 2, and they're both from this side. Okay, that is, oh, okay, that's gonna hurt a lot then, because if you think about it, having both players on the same side saving up for nukes means that one player is always going to be saving up, right? One player is always going to be broke because he needs to save up for a nuke. That is a oh no, close my eyes, please. And so, like, whenever you want to play the game, you always have to give up ground. And assuming it's a 2v2 here, and that one guy has to keep saving up for a nuke, just to help with A, you kind of get the gist of what I'm trying to say, right? It's not going to work out particularly well, especially if they do try to help with, like if they actually do push your home caps, which you never want to lose. And I think that's something that the Alpha team did do fairly well in this, I think the first phase of the match. For the second phase, it feels a bit more like the infantry from Soft is just kind of winning, and that Striker, the Soft infantry can't really make good use of the open terrain here. And for the B cap, I think losing these fours were also pretty important. They're being very confident here. This is okay. This is the anti-heli AMRAAM, and yeah, once the balance is broken, like the equilibrium from this map is broken, it's gonna be pretty hard to get back into the fight, judging from the playstyle of both teams. Like, for example, the Catfay here, in this situation, the Catfay is a really, really good artillery piece when it comes to breaking defensive lines, right? But what are you gonna do when this entire patch of forests and terrain is just, you just have no vision? You're not hitting them down in any location, so neither is your artillery actually going to be very helpful, because you don't know where your opponents are, and they take so long to resupply. Okay, let's see, this is a completely blind Catfay, and there is nothing here. Okay, and they're even going to take E, and if they wanted, they could take F2, but they're kind of just grinding KD, I guess. So, alright, buddy. Let's see, okay, not much happening here. Oh my, that was like barely 30 seconds in and already a war goal. You can see how fast they're accumulating these points. Although, I do remember like reading a comment somewhere when someone mentioned that, these are standoff? No, these are, as you can see, that someone mentioned that this current meta is really catered, or at least the new pseudo conquest mode, this whatever. Oh, they actually are taking ever. Are we gonna see a sudden death? That's crazy, though. Alright, Viper going on over here. Let's see if you can save anything. And none of the packs actually. Okay, never mind. They do have radar on. Okay, some bombs go off, but nothing actually are going to be fruitful here. This means that I think in this match, or at least in this tournament, what you're going to have is, if you happen to sudden death your opponent, you get all the points. You see, like in the third phase, you can get 18 points. Second phase, what is it? 12 points. First phase, 6 points. I'm pretty sure you get 36 points as your like that counts towards advancing into the next. Oh, I actually have this panel. It's so cool. But yeah. Oh, okay. That was a pretty lucky one tap. But is it gonna be enough? I mean, yeah, sure. You get a bit points back in terms of KD, but they really need to do something to stop the bleed from the sudden death. And it seems like both teams, I mean the solution from the Lizard team is that they just wants the blob all the way back into H, which if you look into comparison, okay, well it's even worse here on the they're almost in their spawn. Please stop beating them, and they're already dead. Okay, maybe they get to save their KD, okay? But let's see, anyone. Oh, someone has a positive KD on the Bravo side. Okay, pretty good. And more bombs coming in though. Also bombed their own team, but I guess that's all right. But even though, yeah, like that's the thing, right? You always have an infantry squad inside of a cap, so they'll never be able to take it. Even the Lavelle is pouring some machine gun rounds right at the infantry that are trying to get by. The Hornet luckily dodged one of the missiles, but not the second or third one from the other Pack 2s. Yeah, you gotta respect the Pack 2. That is a lot of Marine players here, and soft players from... sorry, just Marine players from Bravo side. But Marines eventually was not enough when the Nukes started dropping. So yeah, there we have it. Probably not a full 45-minute match, but I came into this match expecting a pretty intense match. And I guess I did get it, just not in the way that I would expect it to. You know, there was first phase just nuking each other, same with second phase, and third phase it was just pure fist fighting. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching today's video, or today's recording of, oops, I am, yeah, screen recording, today's replay. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video, and bye bye. Take care.